And we're live. Gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, dude.
How are you, brother? How are you?
I'm doing well. It's been a long time.
It's been a minute.
Yeah. I hope that this goes better than the last time that we tried doing this at the radio station.
That's right.
Notification that it's recording, so that's
Yeah, so that's good. We and for those of you listening or watching, we sat down for an episode of when I had the radio show. It was for the Alt Natives After Hours podcast, and these guys drove, I think, an hour or so to come see me, maybe longer, in the studio in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And we did basically a whole podcast, and it recorded 10 seconds of it. And we didn't know. So then we tried to capture that magic again, and then it did the same thing again. So we pushed through the third time, but that was like I was embarrassed. I was so embarrassed. I'm so upset. Yeah, well, not the best interview. So hopefully this is a little more controlled. Hopefully I told Tyler earlier while we were waiting for you that if something goes wrong this time, I give up on you. You guys can give up on me. We'll part ways. We'll never talk again, and that'll be the end of it.
All right, that seems fair.
Yeah. But hanging out with Tyler and Dakota from the Lehighton-based rock band Another Day Dawns. You guys have some news, I guess you could say. A new single being released this month. Is there a date on that? I know it was kind of up in the air.
August 20th.
Yep, August 20th.
All right, so there's a date, August 20th. And that song is called "Look at You."
Yep.
And we'll get more into that in a little bit, but you guys didn't have to drive very far tonight, so I will feel less bad if something goes wrong. Although Dakota is in his car, and maybe he felt that he had to drive somewhere to do this.
I'm currently in traffic while doing this.
All right, yeah. With his driver, he's a driver.
Yeah.
Day Dons has made it big, and Dakota's a driver now, so that's good news.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think you guys have what it takes for sure, and I kind of, it sucks, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it kind of sucks that what happened in 2020, because I feel like you guys were full steam ahead. The train was moving, and almost you couldn't be stopped, and you guys still did some big things during the pandemic, but like you guys were rocking and rolling, no pun intended. What was that like for you guys to have this just skyrocket up and then kind of, I don't want to say crash because that would not be great, but I mean, talk a little bit about what the pandemic did to your momentum.
Definitely took the wind out of the sails. I know for me and Tyler, because we were at that point writing most of the band's stuff, and then it kind of after a few weeks of sitting around, we're like, all right, this is pretty cool, all right. And then about after like a month or two kicked in, I'm like, I'm going out of my fucking mind. Like I'm already losing it. Like I'm already, because we all were living together, and we're all just waiting for John, our manager, to call us up to say, hey, we got this going on. And nothing. Nobody was touring. Nobody was playing shows. And we tried getting on like some shows like for like podcasts and stuff, which that's cool, like some acoustic stuff. But I mean, it sucks, man, because we were on the billboards, we were on the charts, we were like 42, 43 with Forget Me Not. That's when we were pushing our heavy stuff. And it was great. And then that hit kind of like made us all kind of forget who we were for a little bit there. Like that's, at least for me, I'm kind of like, oh my God, what's going on? Definitely a big toll on my mental state of mind more than anything, and physical a little bit. I got the COVID-15 probably from it, but it was definitely a mess.
Did you you guys made it through unscathed, like as far as contracting the virus? Or you guys good?
Yeah, no, I never got it.
Cool.
Yeah, no, we're all good. We're all vaxxed.
Yeah. Anyone close to you guys get it?
My old piano teacher is the only one I've heard.
I was looking for more for an answer of like a brother, sister, mother, father. Like, not that I don't care
piano
about
teacher from second
My
grade.
uncle did. My uncle did. I forgot.
yeah, not that I don't care about your piano teacher, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Well, that's good. That's good. But yeah, I mean, I ask a lot of bands I talk to. I mean, obviously, part of what you guys do is perform out and play out in front of people, and that's kind of an outlet for you guys. And I was very concerned with the mental health of musicians, just because that outlet was no more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I said,
honestly,
oh, you go, Tyler. Sorry.
it's okay. For a bit, honestly, the first few months were great, like just writing, because with all the shows and like just practicing and nailing the sets we were playing all the time, we didn't have as much time to write as we'd liked. So for the first bit, that's when we wrote like all our good stuff. And then, after like month 3, which was, just the very beginning, when it all started to go downhill. But it definitely changed our sound a lot. It definitely changed our whole approach to music.
And how so?
It was, a lot of the time we were just such a like live band. We liked playing songs when they were brand new, seeing how people reacted, like adjusting them according to the crowd. So, a lot of our songs, we realized, sometimes they're just better as live songs. And now we were really stepping back and just approaching it. Cody, help me out here.
All right, you're losing me too, but I think
a different perspective, maybe.
Yeah, like we have like 2 major genres that we love pushing out. Like I love making stuff like we have Beautiful Suicide, Forget Me Not, and then we also have like the alternative, like we call it like the sad boy music that we make that we also love for the younger generation kind of. So it was
like it did really well live. Like I remember anytime, even when we were doing like cover songs, we'd do like a Taking Back Sunday song, and we'd kill the vibe. All that like kind of music, just we kind of stayed away from that for a while and just went into our heavier, more aggressive side. So we definitely dialed it back, but we wanted to obviously keep the good energy in there. But it's a lot more like atmospheric. It's a lot more put together. It's a lot more focused.
It's just not straight. It's just not straight rock and roll. Some songs, and some songs they're in your face about it. So that's like I said, that's what we like. We like having a little bit of both sides, a heavy side to us, and then like a chill driving. Listen to us when you're driving, when you're smoking, drinking, wherever you feel like doing, just having just laid back, not really worrying, caring about a thing, kind of.
Right. What part of 2020 that, was there a show that you had booked that you were really looking forward to that got canceled that you were like, shit, this fucking sucks?
Well, the festivals, but they all got rescheduled and they're coming up now, at least.
All the festivals you said?
Yeah, Blue Ridge, Louder Than Life.
Yeah, we didn't. Other than that, we didn't really have anything booked. But I think some runs with Adelita's Way, which honestly we were all okay with. We told John we'd rather take off those months anyway because we thought it would only be a few months just so we could sit and write a little bit more stuff, more stuff for the radio and whatnot. And then a few months turned into a year and a half later, and here we are.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of bands that I talked to also said that they were able to take the time and, use it effectively, regarding, writing and just spending time with, each other or their family more, or just, creating, internally. So I think a lot of people that, as terrible as it was, people died and people lost jobs and people, you name it. But I think a lot of people took the time to kind of reflect on, who they are and what they wanted out of life. And I think those people who did that, are going to be better off, after this is all over. I mean, I like to think that it's kind of over, but you watch the news and it's like,
I know it's a new strain every day. It's almost like the medical marijuana business. There's a new strain every day, something else. I'm like, all right, come on.
Yeah, but that's the good strain. You want that stuff. That's the good stuff. You want it. You want to utilize that. This is the stuff you don't want. I mean, my kid, he's in daycare, and he had a direct contact with someone who tested positive. It was
Oh,
one of
Jesus
his
Christ.
teachers. Yeah, one of his teachers and another student in the room. But it turns out the teacher was also vaccinated. So it was like, wow, what is going on? And now
God.
kids are getting it, which, I mean, before it was kind of like, you know, they were kind of spared, so to speak. And now it's kind of like anyone's kind of fair game. And it's kind of wild.
I know. We just gotta try and we just gotta try and think positive out of it, because this politics, it'll eat you up if you just think about it all day. I've been the whole pandemic, been keeping up with it, and after a while I'm just like, Jesus Christ. It's just back and forth. I see all over my Facebook, left side going off and the right side going off, and you know what I mean? It's just like, my God.
Yeah.
I just want to play, man. That's the only high that we get. That's the only high that we get, playing in front of thousands of people I want to see the sea of people at these festivals, and this freaking pandemic keeps pushing it further away. I'm going to scream.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it doesn't. Because like I said, you guys have a lot of stuff coming up, and um, let's get into that. What do you have this year that people can look forward to?
Well, Cody, do you want to say that? Or?
Like we were touching a little base on, we got some festivals coming up. We got Blue Ridge, we got Aftershock. What are the other ones I'm missing? Aftershock, Louder Than Life. We're on. So we got some. We recently signed on with a new booking agent, Nick Storch, which is really huge. He does big bands like Nothing More and a few other good guys. And
Yeah, Blue October.
Yeah.
Which is one of my favorite bands.
Yep.
So that's big
Same
news.
here.
What was that like? Signing with him and kind of seeing what the future held that way.
He's just the right person to push us in the direction we want to go. And we've got a couple of dates with Atreyu, Nonpoint, and Tetrarch. So we're really looking forward to that. Atreyu is a band that I definitely got into when I was a lot younger. And they were taking over the whole metalcore scene. But we're excited to see what happens after this run of festivals too, because we're gonna be making a lot of connections with some great bands on those. Some of our favorite bands are on them. They're really like some of the best lineups ever. It's the perfect way to come back. So
that's what I'm hoping. We just bump elbows with the right people, right bands, right labels, for say, you know what I mean? Just make friends with the right people we got to do out there.
If you had your choice of bands that you'd want to meet, whether it's for your career or just personally, who do they look like?
Ty, you go first.
Ooh, well, Slipknot for sure. Unfortunate right now. Rip Joey.
Yeah.
Still super sad. I've been playing them so much lately. But that kind of sucks because we were originally supposed to play Rocklahoma, which is the only festival we were on with them. And, we're not on that anymore, unfortunately. So we can play with Atreyu. But, definitely them. A Day to Remember.
That's a great band.
Them at Blue Ridge. Their sets are always so much fun. They know how to have fun with the crowd and make it a good night.
Now, were you a fan of their new record? Because they got a lot of heat for that new album. They're not going to hear this, so don't worry about it. You can say
I'm not. I don't get it.
I enjoyed it. I mean,
there's always good hooks, great parts because they're incredible songwriters. It's just some of it just sounds so different for them. Even just Jeremy's voice, I think. So I don't know. I think I need to approach it with a different mindset. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll give that another try.
Yeah, you said you're painting your house, so you can paint your house and you can
That's
listen to. There you go.
Yeah.
The rest of the night is planned for you.
got it.
So, did you just buy a house, or you just kind of?
No, they Nick and Cody both just moved out, so I've been alone here.
Oh man.
No, but my girlfriend's moving in now, so that's why we're painting. And
Oh no.
we thought we could get
Things went from bad to worse, brother.
Right.
Dude, she's gonna take that. I don't know her. I'm only joking. So if she hears this, I'm only joking, but they'll take shit over, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh, we know.
I mean,
know.
I remember when I started dating my wife. Obviously, she was my girlfriend at the time. But I didn't think she'd stick around for longer than 3 months because she's way too attractive for me, and I thought she'd get smarter sooner or later. But eventually, time went on. 3 months went on. 4, 5, 6 months, and then all of her stuff's in my apartment. And I'm like, how the fuck did this happen? I mean, it worked out well for me in the end, but yeah, man, it happens. They just start sneaking shit in.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the store and get some. Oh, what the hell?
We'll see.
You should have her there helping you paint.
Well, yeah, she's working tonight. She's been helping. We thought we could get like all of it done this weekend, and now we're like not even fully done with 2 rooms. So it's a bigger process than I thought. I'm going a little crazy here, but this interview is a nice break. So thank you.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. Thank you. Not to get off topic, but it'll be a year ago that we moved into the house that I'm in now, and I feel your pain because we moved in knowing we wanted to paint, but when we moved in, day of closing, we walk in the house, and this woman who owned the house prior to us, she painted around this giant like entertainment system on one wall and then another cabinet on another wall. So it went from having to, we'll paint in maybe a month or so to we have to paint right now because there's a giant outline of this entertainment system that we didn't see because when we were looking at the house, the entertainment system was there. So we actually painted, I think, our entire downstairs, everything except for the first floor bathroom, and then we had to leave for vacation the next day. It was just,
Jesus.
Yeah, it was terrible. It was terrible. And we came home from vacation and kept going to the upstairs. But I feel your pain. It's not fun. That paint will be on your arm for at least another week or two.
I know this is primer. It's on there pretty good. That's why I have a sweater on right now. I tried to like shower and get nice for this, but
well, I appreciate the effort. Tyler drove an hour just out of necessity, and you put on a nice sweater. So thank you both. But as far as the band goes, let's talk about the new song. The song is called "Look at You." It's coming out August 20th. I've heard it. I've had the honor of hearing it early.
John, give it to you. John.
He did, and we'll talk about him too. He gave it to me. And it's very reminiscent of 30 Seconds to Mars for me.
We've been getting that a lot.
Which I love. So that's a good compliment. Like I said, it's kind of more an alty, just a little bit more of a younger sound, which we want to balance. You know what I mean? So we could kind of balance in the metalcore realm and then balance in the alty, like 30 Seconds to Mars, Take It Back Sunday. People just screaming along with me. That's kind of what we were going for.
I feel like that's like the song that came the most naturally to us too.
Yeah.
It's really like raw. Also, it's just like, it's not the approach of like most bands, how, today you have a whole session open and you can analyze it from the very beginning. We just like sitting in a room, all 4 of us anymore, and jamming out. And that's exactly how the song happened. Like,
yep.
Just started with the riff and then it just flowed right into everything leading up to the chorus. And
that's kind of how we got the feeling for our older stuff, like Taste of Heaven, like, and Forget Me Not. And just those songs kind of wrote themselves. Like either Jerome or Tyler would start off with a lick, and then we'd look at each other, and then we'd go, and I'd already have lyrics in my head, I already have melody in my head, and then we'd go to the chorus and be like, this is something here. And this is how we felt for Look at You, even though it's kind of a different, I don't want to say different direction. It's just not as a heavy direction as everyone expects coming after, Forget Me Not.
Yeah, well, I mean, I imagine that you'll have, or I hope you do anyways, similar success that you had with Forget Me Not and Taste of Heaven. You were on the media-based rock charts. I think you broke the top 40 with both of those songs. So, I mean, if it sounds like it's a similar process. I mean, obviously it's a great song. So hopefully you have the same success with that.
Oh yeah, that's what we're hoping for. What do you think, Ty? You think we got one or what?
I think so. I think I don't know. This is it's the least safe song I think we've ever had. So there's always that little scare, but like I'm still very confident in it.
It's definitely different. I mean, for me, when I heard it, I do hear, the 30 Seconds to Mars, but for me, it was just a constant, like, it started here and it stayed here and just kind of kept going. There was never like a build up and then a come down and things like that. It was just kind of like, here it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to be in your face the entire time. And when I say in your face, it's not aggressive, but it's just, it's there,
Yeah. It just felt like the most we're back song.
Yeah.
It shows like a little bit musicianship for the guys, and then it still has my hooks and choruses that are still going to be having people sing along, and that's mostly what we wanted. We don't want the guys playing simple stuff where they're getting bored, but then at the same time you got to play stuff that is going to be radio friendly and stuff that people are going to be able to mosh to or dance to without going off beat on them. And I think we nailed that pretty well.
Yeah, and talk about the radio, because you've been on several stations in northeastern Pennsylvania. I imagine you've probably been on some other ones, but I know you were on, one of the top rock stations in our area, 97.9X, a few times. I'm sure this song will be on there too. I think I saw it on social media that it will be. But what was that like for you guys as far as being on an active rock station and a popular one at that? And it wasn't like it was shoved on a Saturday night on an alternative station on a Saturday like you were with me. Like you were like drive time on 97.9X. So that had to be pretty cool.
Yeah, no, we especially after they used to support bands like Breaking Ben like that and Fuel like that, and now they're supporting us like that. So that gives us really good hopes. And they're seriously like the nicest people ever too. Like anytime they can do anything for us, they're there. And it is crazy because like I grew up always like loving that as like my favorite station that my dad would put on. So
yeah, they're good people over there. I couldn't say that before because I was on a competing station, but yeah, Duffy and Lazy E and Dory and all those guys over there, they're great. And not that we were ever not nice to each other. I mean, Duffy used to work over with the stations that I was with. I'm no longer there. I left there back in January, but yeah, I mean, it's got to be a cool feeling to hear not only just hear your song on the radio, but to hear it on a top station like that.
Yeah, people still like Snapchat me that like people I haven't talked to in a while, like, yo, you're on 97.9X.
No,
were you on other stations outside of this area?
Yeah.
Cody,
we'll leave it at that.
I couldn't name the ones. I know John probably has a list of them, but there's probably about 12 to 15 stations that, like, I know there's one up in North or South Carolina that was representing us.
Hard Drive. Yeah, they spun us a bit.
Hard Drive, Lou Brutus spun us a few times up there. Like, I don't know, cool. just some good stations, some podcasts also too.
Yeah. That's great. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I mean, there's probably tons of them, like you said, and it's probably hard to remember. But yeah, that's got to be really, really wild. And you mentioned, you're talking about, targeting your music to a younger audience. And I kind of know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but Can you kind of elaborate on that to like when you say younger audience, what do you, because you guys aren't old, I guess is what I'm getting at.
So it's almost like without like, we don't want to badger like any bands we toured with or whatever, but like we went from playing with Buck Cherry for a few nights to playing with Save and Able to playing with, and then it's almost like we went from that to the Crowd of like Issues to Crowd of Motionless, and that's kind of where we see ourselves in the realm like of having that good crossover where we still got like the grunge sound, because I still get told today we sound like some STP, some Stone Temple Pilots, and then we also like the beautiful Suicide sound, which fits right in the realm with Motionless and White's crowds, like the Warped Tour crowds, and that's kind of what we wanted to mold at least this song for. Look at You for is all the kids and all the teens, preteens, whatever, and just have a little bit more oomph to it.
I understand. I mean, you don't want old people like me out there. I get it.
We do.
I get it. I understand. I get it. And I mean, as far as obviously the younger audience streams music these days, we're not buying albums, we're not buying records and things like that. How important is your presence on the Spotify's and the Apples, and talk a little bit about that, because it's that kind of world for musician is much different than what it was when I was younger, because we had records. You guys are living in a streaming space, so what's that like?
Really hard to understand.
Yeah.
But getting on like steady algorithms and keeping a consistent fan base on Spotify and stuff like that is really huge. And our song Taste of Heaven hit 1 million streams a little bit ago, and like
that's awesome.
Stuff like that's really big to push anymore. And that opens up a lot of doors for you. That looks really good, because I feel like that's how a lot of people these days judge other bands real quick. Is they'll check their Spotify, their numbers and their monthly listeners. Yep. And, it's the most real way to detect activity these days. Honestly,
activity. See how many fans you have to bring to the table and whatever like that. Yeah, I agree.
It's really good too to like check out your markets on there too.
Right.
So that's why we're trying to aim to get on a lot of these playlists with bands like Cody said, Motionless, Issues.
Right. So if you had your way, would you want to sell?
He's like falling asleep.
He's very tired.
And sorry.
He's painting himself to death.
He's huffing those fumes.
I forgot to open.
Make sure those windows are open now.
I'm like, did he freeze? Did his screen freeze?
He's like, Issues. Right. Oh,
wake up.
But
think of other bands.
What are you saying, Johnny?
No, I mean, if you guys had your way, like, would you prefer to? I mean, obviously, as we advance and the technology exists, like you said, you can find out where fan bases are, and you can probably find out that, hey, X amount of people in Europe are listening, or whatever it might be. But like, do you like that kind of aspect, or would you rather like sell physical copies of albums?
I mean, you make way more money on albums, like physical sales. So
right.
That's where. Yeah, that's where it comes in, because the streams and numbers look good, but then also when you're just get done playing a show and you're saying next to the merch table, it also looks good when people are still buying your CDs and want you to sign the CDs. That's why we still continue to have them, because we just got done playing with Seven Dust down here in Bethlehem at Arts Quest, and we killed it in merch. Killed it. People are going crazy over the CDs still. They're shocked that bands are still having them. And I feel like that's a cool way to stick with fans, because there's fans that bought our very first CD that has like 3 songs on it that sounds like complete ass to us at least. And then they're like, remember when you guys signed this back in 2012? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, you guys held on to that. Like, my God. So I think I love that kind of stuff. But then, like Tyler said, the streams and numbers, at least to a label and at least to a club owner, look better than, oh, we sold 100 CDs tonight. You know what I mean? Like, so it's tough.
Yeah. I mean, there's bands that are making cassettes, if you believe that, which I don't understand.
Yeah, it's too backwards, I think.
Right? I don't even like records. Like I don't understand it. I mean, I was
Yeah.
buying CDs for the longest time. I was still buying CDs, still going to the Joe Nardone's Gallery of Sound, and every week I would drop like $60 a week.
Yeah.
And then it just got to the point where I'm like, man, I can't keep doing this. Like I'm spending like $300 a month on music because I still wanted to support the artist. I still wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But like it's so difficult to keep doing that because I would even come home, I put it on my computer, and I would transfer it to my iPod because I had one of those giant iPod classics that was like I forget how big that was. I think it was like 64 gigs. So I didn't even like the CD was out for a second and then back in, but like I can't. Like, this is so easy, and I have everything. But it's like it sucks for you guys because you know you don't get paid that much on streams, like you said. So it's like it's a double-edged sword.
That's crazy, man. Spotify and all of them, they rip off artists, man. Like Tyler said, our song Taste, I haven't hit 1 million. I think we saw maybe $200 from that. I'm not even maybe. So it's like, wow, you couldn't even give us like half that. It's our fucking song.
I used to get in fights with my friend all the time because he was like, well, the band should just write better songs. I'm like, that's not the fucking point, man. They're not getting paid shit for anything that they're making. I said, you should be buying the CDs. And again, like I pushed for that for so long. And like,
yeah, you can't blame people for like,
yeah, it's convenience.
Yep.
But it sucks. But you know, to what you said before, you're able to play shows and sell merch, which I think is the way every band really made their money. Even, you know, when times of selling albums were good. I mean, people and the bands made money off tours and selling merch. So
yeah,
at least there's still that.
Exactly. And that merch too at the end of the night saves the band, puts money in their tour, bless their RV, whatever they're using. You know what I mean? So we sell 100 CDs. That's getting us from one venue to the next. So we appreciate the people still buying the CDs, man. That helps.
Hell yeah. And you said you guys opened or played with Seven Dust.
Yeah, man, that was crazy.
I was just talking to ML and Justin of Eternal Frequency last night. We brought you guys up for a second, but they were also at that show.
Oh, okay.
Wait,
yeah, they were at that show.
No, they were at their show in Harrisburg, I think.
Okay. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. They still sell the band. Sorry.
Yeah.
They also. I mean, they also saw Seven Dust recently.
Sorry.
No, I mean, hey, when you're right, you're right. I'd rather be called out.
Oh, but it's crazy, man. We were the first to 4 on there, and just being that, we brought so much of a home crowd because Bethlehem is almost pretty much like our home crowd now, just because of how much we reached out nationally with tours and stuff. Bethlehem is the closest for people in New Jersey to come see us. You know what I mean? It's right across there. So we played that, and a few hundred of our own fans came out, and that was pretty cool to see, along with Seven Dust fans. So, and they just put on one hell of a show, man. My God, like their new stuff is even heavier than their old stuff, and it's just crazy. I got to sit down and talk to Morgan for about an hour after this set, and he loved the band. We were only supposed to play Friday, and then at the end of the convo, he pretty much got his management and our manager John to talk and to get us on the Saturday's bill because they were there 2 nights in a row. So that's how, long story short, that's how we got to get on for the second night, because he dug the band pretty well, and he was just awesome. Down to earth, man. He was awesome. A really cool dude.
That's awesome. And John Phillips helped you get there.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, he had us chatting with Cody helped me with the name. Their stage manager, Seven Dust.
Oh God.
So
I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but he was like one of the nicest nicest stage people back there. Usually they're either, don't step on my wires or something back there. This guy was making sure we're getting on stage all right, having no problems. And
yeah, everyone there was great. Everyone at Arts Quest.
Yeah, everyone at Arts Quest. They must remember because a few years ago we played back with Godsmack and Daughtry. So I'm assuming it's the same hands, same people out there because I saw a couple familiar faces in that. So it's always cool to have that familiar sense around, you know.
So you've played with Godsmack and Daughtry.
Yeah.
Two big names. I mean, what you've played with a lot of big names. And you guys are young. It's like how do you obviously you know, you gotta keep a humble mind, but like there's not a lot of people that, you know, kind of stay as level-headed as you guys are, you know, playing and opening for bands like that. Like that's wild.
Yeah. No, that was a surreal feeling, man, especially for the Godsmack. We were up there in Bethlehem Steel Stacks, and that's for 10,000 seats, 15,000 seats. And we got there, and we were the first band once doors opened. Like doors opened at 5, we went on probably 6:30, and there was still 4,000 or 5,000 people there for us for the first band, and that was so sick.
That's awesome.
It was amazing.
That's great. Well, guys, I mean, I probably could talk to you guys all night, but I want to let Tyler get back to painting, and I want to quit while I'm ahead. I have not screwed up the stream yet, or the recording rather, and I don't want to. Well, who knows? I mean, I could hit stop right now, and I could, you know, lose everything. So I want to quit while I'm ahead.
Well, real quick, I think we want to mention, we didn't mention our show at the Wooden Match, did we? That's our next show around here.
Yes, please, by all means, promote what you have coming up, promote the music you have online, whatever you got to do.
Yeah, August 14th, we're at the Wooden Match, and like you said, you had Amal on Eternal Frequency, you're there with us, and Huxley. And Music Fest is always wild, and
yeah, it's gonna be crazy there. It's free event, all ages, and it's gonna be our last show right before we pretty much last local show until we head out with the Treyu. So that's gonna be sick. We're looking forward to that.
All right. Full disclosure, I don't know when this is going to go online. I'm waiting for the approval from John Phillips. So if this goes up after the 14th, ignore everything that Tyler just said. The show's over. You can't go to it.
Thank you. I bet it was awesome.
But if it goes up before that, make sure you check out the show, because like they said, it's the last local show for a little bit. So, and as far as where can people get you online, I'm sure it's pretty easy, but for those of, you know, out there who are you know, not familiar,
it's just our website, anotherdaydawns.com, and then on Facebook and Instagram it's the same. Just look up Another Day Dawns and we'll be right there. We got we're always posting daily, so
cool. No Twitter?
John says we have one, but I don't know. I don't think none of us use it.
I what about TikTok? Phases of Twitter, but I never stick with Twitter, and we're all just bad at it. So.
I can't comprehend it. I don't know. It just seems
it's
chaos.
One of my least favorite apps.
Yeah, but also Facebook is not my friend right now, because for some reason they have taken away the ability for me to advertise. I wasn't breaking any rules that I'm aware of, but they took my ad account away. So I would just like throw like $10 here and there at these podcasts to help get a little extra exposure. And I don't know. And I can't get a hold of anybody either. So I don't know. We'll see.
Give John Phillips a call. I'll help you.
Yeah. Listen. Not for nothing. What about TikTok? You on TikTok?
No, I don't know. We tried doing that, but that's either goofy or it's just a bunch of teen girls shaking their ass and makes me uncomfortable. So I don't know.
It's
not weird, one of my.
Yeah, it's a weird platform, because I keep saying I'm not funny, and B, I don't really have the time to try and be that funny, and or like, you know, take all those videos and edit them together. I don't even know how. Maybe it's easier than I think it is. I have no idea.
It takes hours to edit those 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be this quick little digestible. Haha, scroll. Haha, scroll.
And that's what I do. I mean,
people put so much into this and like are actual like big stars because
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I laugh. I have it. I don't post. I just, kind of scroll.
I love the food when they're showing like cooks how people are cooking food. I love watching that.
Dude, some of these life hacks things. Did you know that your dishwasher has a filter?
No,
Your fucking dishwasher has a filter on the bottom.
Christ.
I'm 38 years old and I've never changed a filter in a dishwasher. I didn't know it existed until just like 2 months ago.
All these people sitting around got nothing to do. They're finding shit out. that's how it's coming up. These TikToks.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's another thing making me mad. These people are up there shaking their ass and whatnot. They get how many millions likes, and then we try putting something up for the band, 100 views. I'm like, I fucking quit. I'm done. I'm done.
Dude, I mean, women have a huge advantage over us. All they have to do
is do a wink.
A wink.
That's all I got to do.
A wink, just a little bit of cleavage. That's it. That's it. And us men are idiots.
Exactly.
And like, oh, she wants to bang me. She wants to bang.
Yeah.
Yep. Better like this. Better like it. Better share it. Yep. Jesus. Oh man. Well, before we get off the rails too far,
now we're going down a rabbit hole.
I don't want to get myself in trouble. But thank you guys so much for doing this tonight. I wish you the best of luck with the new song. Again, that is called "Look at You," August 20th. Obviously available on all the streaming platforms, and catch them on their local radio station 979X. I'm sure coming up soon as well. But best of luck on tour. Best of luck with the festivals. Best of luck with everything. And hopefully I see you guys sooner than later.
Dude, thank you. Yeah. See you.
Yeah, thank you for taking the time, man. It means a lot to us for real.
All right. Well, thank me when this.
Spot at a show for you.
What's that?
If you ever want to come out, we got a spot at a show.
All right, I'll take you up on that for sure. But don't thank me until this goes up. Full audio, full video. You can thank me then because I don't trust anything yet.
Well, Phillips, look it over.
All right.
Thank you, brother, for real.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, buddy.
We'll see you.